Hey, welcome back to my shop. It's been a while since we did a video. What I'm gonna do today is something you got laying around your shop. This is an old drawl knife. It don't have any handles on it. A friend of mine gave this to me to make him some handles for it, and I'm gonna make some handles that kind of look like this. And we'll just get started right into the video. I'll see you at the lathe. Okay, here's some of the tools that we're going to use today. First is going to be a roughing gouge, and we could almost do this whole thing with a roughing gouge and a parting tool. A parting tool would be the second tool of choice. We might even use a skew. We got this carbide tip, square nose, easy wood tool. We might use it. Of course, we'll need a measuring tape, and then we're going to use our calipers. Well, I also got a spindle gouge here. We're not going to need a lot of tools for this. This is going to be a very quick project. We are going to need a drill. We're going to drill that on the lathe, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's get over to the lathe. Okay, what we got? I got this chucked up into my Nova chuck here. I didn't cut a tenon on it. I got the square corners in there. That'll be sufficient for what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is just get this thing around. I'm going to use my roughing gouge, and let's get started. I'll turn this thing to 0. I'll turn it on. We're going to bring the speed up, and right now we're turning about 800 RPM, so we're going to just get it round. Let me get my face shield down, and we'll get started on this thing. And that's smooth all the way across. What I got here is a piece of mahogany. It'll be good for this project. Now that I got this thing round, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to slide my tailstock back. I'm going to put my drill press in there. Okay, if you can see this, I got a drill bit in my chuck here, and I'm going to turn the lathe way down, and we're going to drill this out. I got a piece of tape in here. That's the depth that we're going to go into this handle. And one thing I want to do is I want to actually go on and measure how deep this handle needs to be, and we're going to probably do about a 5-inch handle, maybe 4.5. Let's go 4 3/4. So that will be the first handle, and then I'll do the second handle right here. So I'm going to be drilling into there 3 inches. So that'll give me plenty of room to get a handle, my hand width. So 4.5 inches is going to be the number. So let's go on and drill this out. Turn the lathe on. I'm going to crank her up here a little bit. And we're not going to go real fast right now. All I want to do is just drill a hole in this thing. Grab a hold of the chuck, pull it out, just like that. That hole's drilled. Okay, got my face shield down. I'm going to crank this on up a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is give me a stopping point back here where I know that the handle is going to be at. Which is right there. And since I'm doing that, let's go on and put another mark on here. Four 3/4. Just like that. And I'll go on and mark that one. Okay. We got to go down just a little bit. And I'm going to go on and take them both down at the same time. Almost there. There we go. All right, I'm going to explain something to you. If you'll look on these calipers right here, instead of a sharp point right there, I have rounded these tips off on both sides. I don't recommend you measuring with the lathe running, but if you do, I want to tell you about this, because if you'll round those tips off and that thing is running, them tips will not catch. Right out of the factory, they're really sharp points. So if you don't do that, you put that on there with that lathe running, it can be very dangerous. So always round that tip off. Get you some calipers just for your lathe, and then round that off if that's what you choose to do. I don't recommend it. Shut the lathe off, measure it each time, and you'll be safe. So let's get the cranking. So now, what we want to do is I just want to put a little chamfer on this end over here. And we're going to take this down right there where that chamfer is to that measurement right there. And we're there. So now I'll just make that chamfer again. And I want to make them both about the same. About right there. Look at this one. That's about it right there. I'll take this easy wood tool, kind of shape that up a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. Now what I want to do is I want to make a handle here. And just kind of shape it like a handle. I go back to where my chamfer line is. And I'll work on this one a little bit. Stand back and take a peek at them, and we're a little bit thick on this one. And that looks pretty darn good. So Take a skew, round this end off over here. Just like that, and then I'll come back in, just kind of round that corner off a little bit. Pick up my parting tool off the floor. Now I'm going to make this a little bit deeper. I'm going to widen it up a little bit. My parting tool, get in there and kind of straighten it out a little bit. That looks like a pretty good handle. Pick up my skew again, round this one over. Round that corner off like we did on the other one. Okay, now let's shape up the rest of this handle. Go in here and use this skew like a negative rate scraper. That works very well. Round this one off. Touch it up a little bit, and both of them, they look pretty darn close. This one may be a little bit thicker than the other one, so I'll take it down a little bit. Okay. And then I want to stop the lathe, and I want to just grab a hold. Make sure it feels good in your hand. So let's see something I need to do. I need to take this one off a little bit. Okay. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Feels good in my hand. So now I want to get some sandpaper. I'm going to use some 150 and probably some 220. I'll back my tool rest just out of the way so I don't get my fingers caught in there. That's always a good idea. You'll only do that once. Sand them both down while I'm sanding. Okay, that looks pretty good. Make sure there ain't no tool marks in there. And there's a few. So we'll go back. If you got some tool marks, sometimes best way, just shut the lathe off, staying with the grain. That'll take them out very rapidly, and then spin it back on, and with your finer sandpaper, and you should be good to go. Okay, turn it back on. Put some finish on here. This is what they call shine juice. It's a 3-part mixture. Turn that on. Let's buff it up a little bit. You don't want these things real slick because it's a handle that you're going to be working with. Actually, this one will probably never be worked with. This is an antique, so they'll probably just slide these on there and be done with it. Let's part this one off. Okay, that's almost got it through there. Let's back this tailstock out of the way. Stand back, make sure it's running good. Running pretty decent. Got one handle off. I'll sand that little nib off. That don't look too bad right there. I want to take my skew and I want to give me a starting point for my drill bit again, right in the center there. Put a little dimple in there. Just like that. Set this thing off, back my tool rest up. I'm going to slide my tailstock up there. We'll put my drill bit in there first. Get it up there, get started. We're going to slow the lathe back down. You don't need to drill at a high rate of speed. I'm only running about 490 RPM. And you can tell this is going in there pretty decent. This is all in real time. Always grab a hold of your chuck when you're pulling it back out so that you don't leave it off in there. Crank this all the way back and we'll take this thing out. I want to put some juice on the front here. Grab my parting tool. Set that lathe off. I want to slide this tool rest back up there so I can part this one off. Crank her on up a little bit. Go in there and clean it up a little bit. And before I take it all the way off, I'm going to take this 240 sandpaper and I'm going to go in there and sand the end of that a little bit so I can put some finish on it. And I always use paper towels when I'm putting finish on. And I use a Viva brand because it's interwoven. It lasts a little bit. You put a little bit of pressure on it, it works real well. I find some of the other brands of paper towels once they get wet, they just fall apart. So that's my brand of choice is Viva. Just like that, and we got another one off. Now, I'll take these back to the sander, and I'll sand these little ends off. All right, I went to the sander, and I sanded the little nibs off the end. I put some finish on it. That makes a good little pair of handles. Here's the draw knife, and then what I would do is I will epoxy glue these on there, and push them down on there real tight with some epoxy glue on it, and I got some handles for my draw knife. That's a good little project. Around your shop, you always got some tools that has some handles missing, screwdrivers, whatever, chisels, whatever it may be. Make your own handles. Get busy at it. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you the next time. Thanks.